These are my most important notes from the 2015 and 2016 Berkshire Hathaway meetings. Question: can you name at least 5 characteristics of a company that gives you confidence to predict its earnings? Answer was, we don't have a one-size-fits-all system. They're all different. Every industry is different. We also keep learning, so what we did 10 years ago, we hopefully are doing better now, but we can't give you a formula that will help you, said Charlie Munger. There are a lot of things going through our mind when looking at a company to buy, and most of those things that go through our minds are things that'll stop us from going further. The filters are there, and there are a lot of things that if we see it in a business, including who we're dealing with, that'll stop us from going on to the next layer. I don't think value investing will ever go out of style. Who in the hell doesn't want value when you buy something? How can there be anything else that makes any sense except value investing? Said Charlie, and then Warren said it never gets that popular though. And that was after mentioning China should dampen speculation and gambling in the market. People are looking for an easier way, and that's a mistake. It looks easier, but in fact it's harder, and there's a lot of misery to be obtained by misusing stocks, said Charlie. Yeah, nobody buys a farm to make a lot of money next week or next month, or if they buy an apartment house, they buy it based on what they think the long-term future is, and if they make a reasoned calculation of that, and the purchase price looks attractive, they buy it, and then they don't get a quote on it every day, week, or month, or even every year. And that's probably a better way to look at stocks, said Warren. Then they showed a chart that shows 10 years of the S&P and how it beat hedge funds, which was the result of a $1 million bet. Then Charlie started talking about the stupid, demented California tax policy on stock repurchases. He said, there's been more stupid stuff written on such a simple activity as stock repurchase. More stupid stuff written and stupid stuff done. It's a very simple decision, in my view, as to whether you repurchase your own shares. You repurchase them if you're taking care of the needs of the business and your stock is selling for less than it's intrinsically worth. I don't see how anything could be more simple. If you had a partnership and a partner wanted to sell out to you at 120% of what the business is worth, you'd say forget it. If he wanted to sell out to you at 80% of what the business is worth, you'd take it. It's not complicated. I think if you don't know how to save, I can't help you, said Charlie. The important thing is to get good habits early on. The chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken, said Warren. Then he said, we probably lean very much toward things where we felt we were certain to get a decent result than where we were hopeful of getting a brilliant result. We've had a lot of experience with bad businesses, and that makes you appreciate a good one, and to some extent it sharpens your ability to make distinctions between good and bad ones, said Warren. Later he said, it's more important than just to make a life of buying paper. Better to make or do something. And do more than just investing, said Charlie. Moving on to the 2016 Berkshire Hathaway meeting, someone asked a question, how should children look at stocks? The answer? The book, The Secret Millionaires Club by Andy, makes it easy. You don't have to really worry about what's going on in IPOs or people win lotteries every day, but there's no reason to try to figure that out. You look at buying, or when you buy a stock, you get yourself in the mental frame of mind that you're buying a business, and if you don't look at a quote on it for 5 years, that's fine. You don't get a quote on your farm every day, every week or month. You don't get it on your apartment house if you own one. If you own a McDonald's franchise, you don't get a quote every day. You want to look at your stocks as businesses and think about their performance as businesses. Think about what you would pay for them as you would think about buying a business, and then let the rest of the world go its own way. You don't want to get into a stupid game just because it's available, said Warren. On the S&P ETF beating the top hedge funds over 10 years, I will guarantee you that no endowment fund, no public pension fund, no extremely rich person can believe that because they have billions of dollars to invest, that they can't go out and hire somebody who will do better than average. I hear from them all the time. They hire consultants, and no consultant in the world is going to tell you to just buy an S&P index fund and sit for the next 50 years. No fees, no job. Charlie made a comment on why there's no diversity in Berkshire, remembering a Catholic bishop who wanted to use a Catholic lawyer, but another said when you needed surgery, you didn't look for a Catholic surgeon. You don't want to keep accumulating so much money that it burns a hole in your pocket. It's been said that a full wallet is a little like a full bladder, that you may get an urge very quickly to pee it away, said Warren. On buybacks, Warren commented this: "Can you imagine someone going out and saying we're going to buy a business and we don't care what the price is? Or we're going to spend $5 billion a year and we don't care what the price is?" But that's what companies do when they don't attach some kind of a metric to what they're doing on their buybacks. There are lots of company buybacks done at too high a price. American business has been good enough that you don't have to really be smart to get a decent result. And if you can bring a little bit of intellect, you should get a pretty good result, said Warren. Charlie said, "What you've got to be is aversive to the standard stupidities. If you just keep those out, you don't have to be smart." "Thank God," said Warren.